Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this insane bunny butt Easter cake. It's pretty cute and it is so tasty. I've already started eating it. Sorry, I couldn't wait. Let's get started. So right now we're sifting 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of nice cocoa powder, 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and we're going to sift. Cocoa powder has a lot of fat in it, so it does clump up. You don't have to sift the granulated sugar. You can just add it in anytime you want. Don't forget it though. Give it a good whisk and then we'll set aside and work on our wet ingredients. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 3/4 cup of strong hot coffee, 1/4 cup of sour cream. Sour cream is a must for any cake. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. Give it a good whisk. The final step is to combine the wet and dry ingredients. Give it a good whisk until just combined. This batter is really liquidy. You can take a look and see. It's not really thick. It makes the moistest chocolate cake I've ever had. Don't be frightened if it looks like it's a liquid puddle and magically turns into cake. I buttered my 3 6-inch cake pans and now I'm just tapping flour around. It's gonna make them release really nicely. You don't want your cake to stick in the pan. That's a disaster. I'm using a kitchen scale to make sure that each layer weighs exactly the same. I'm gonna pop on some cake strips. These are just wet fabric strips, and what they do is they slow the baking down on the outside so the cake is nice and flat and has nice moist edges that aren't burnt. These are gonna go into the oven at 350 for about half an hour or until the centers are set, a little bit springy, and you'll probably see the edges pulling away from the pan. About 35 minutes later and they're out of the oven. Smells so good, and watch this. Perfect release. And also that is a very nice flat layer, perfect for decorating, great for stacking. So to make my bunny butt, I'm using white fondant and pink fondant. I don't normally use this, but for modeling and making little figures, it's perfect. I'm gonna roll it out, and there's a few components. There's the body, the tail, and the little paws. So the paws are first. Using the back of a piping tip to create the paws. That gives you little circles, which you're gonna roll out to be ovals. I just rolled a little bit of pink food coloring and fondant together. It mixes really easily. Now I'm using a number 12 and a number 8 tip just to punch little holes out. If your fondant's moist, the pad and the paw will attach with no problem. If it got a little dry, just use a little bit of water with a brush and that'll act as glue. And we have a little paw. Once your paws are done, you can just lift them off of the work surface carefully. For the actual body of the bunny, we're just going to take a little bit of fondant. You're gonna pop it into either a bowl or a glass that has a rounded edge and just press it in. So I actually added just a little bit of powdered sugar there so it wouldn't stick. Pulls right out and it's perfect. That's what a bunny butt looks like in real life. So for the tail, we're just gonna take a little bit of fondant, skewer it onto a toothpick, dip it in some water, and now tap off the excess. Just coat in the sanding sugar. Add a little bit of water to the back to attach the paws on, and then just press them on. My bunny butt's done. I'm gonna set it aside to firm up a bit, and then it's gonna get popped onto the cake towards the end of the process. Super cute though, right? We're gonna make a lot of buttercream because I'm doing several different colors and some of it's gonna be chocolate. So we'll have a little bit left over. It's always better to have more than less. 5 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature into a standing mixer fitted with a paddle attachment and mix on low for a few minutes until it's nice and really creamy. So my butter is really creamy. I'm gonna take the standing mixer bowl out, sift half of my sugar in, which is a pound, and then mix it, put in the second pound, and then we're gonna add in our flavorings. Cover with a tea towel so we don't get a crazy toxic sugar cloud. And sift in the rest of the powdered sugar. So that's 2 pounds in all. Back onto the mixer, and we're gonna mix again. Okay, a drizzle of cream, a teaspoon or 2 of vanilla, just a little drizzle. I've only made a marginal mess and my buttercream is done. You can see the consistency is nice, perfect for piping grass and for our grooves. It'll all make sense in a moment. We're gonna divide the buttercream into several batches, color some and add chocolate to one of the batches too. It's gonna be delicious. I'm just adding in the smallest amount of food coloring to each batch because I want it to be a really beautiful soft pastel because it's Easter. We're gonna transfer each of these into its own piping bag, which then go into a larger piping bag, and this will be the filling, a nice beautiful two-tone pastel inside. For the chocolate buttercream, I'm adding in about 2 tablespoons of high-quality cocoa powder and 1/4 cup of melted and cooled dark chocolate. Give it a mix just so that the chocolate's incorporated and it's beautiful and creamy. Gonna give it a generous pinch of salt and mix again. Piping a swirl of the two-tone buttercream on. Now you add the second layer, repeat the process, add the third layer, coat the cake completely in chocolate buttercream. The top doesn't matter though because it'll be covered by the grass. Smooth the cake, then use the comb to create your grooves. Chill the cake until the buttercream firms up, then coat completely in your soft pink buttercream. Add your chocolate eggs to the bottom, and then pipe your green grass on top. Add your bunny butt, a smattering of Easter eggs, and you're complete. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.